We are soaking up sunshine in Midtown Memphis. I'm thinking about dinner tonight, and I'm thinking I'm gonna have squash and maybe some eggplant or a cucumber, and I'm just gonna run to the corner. But you know what? We take that for granted. There are places in the inner cities where there is no fresh produce available. And we finished speaking to Sarah Taylor. We're gonna find out about what a giving person she is and what she has started here over 5 years ago. Tell us about your endeavors.
We started this garden. This is this community table garden. We started it in an effort to improve the quality of food that is available for people that have to get food from food pantries and eat meals at soup kitchens that otherwise might not be able to afford their own produce. The majority of food that is donated to food banks and soup kitchens and pantries is often processed and high in sugar and not high in nutrients. So we're just basically trying to increase the amount of fresh produce that's at the food bank.
Fresh is the best.
It is. The Mid-South Food Bank is where the majority of our produce goes. They are basically a hub, so they serve all the surrounding counties in the tri-state area. So West Tennessee, East Arkansas, North Mississippi are all served by the Mid-South Food Bank.
And then those people can come to that distribution center and shop there, just like we would shop in the supermarket.
Exactly.
Well, I would like to emphasize the fact that you are a volunteer.
Yes.
You do have a sponsor here. We are on property that belongs to
Huey's. Huey's Burgers, their office is behind us, and they have a chain of burger restaurants in Memphis, and they have been wonderfully gracious enough to let me be here for going on 5 years now.
The other thing of interest, I think, is the fact that you do this organically.
Yes.
Well, let's go and look at some of the crops that you have now that'll soon be harvested.
Well, we are just now transitioning over to most summer stuff. So we've got a few spring things left, but mostly we're moving into summer veggies. So we've got watermelon. These are eggplant. They're just starting to flower, so we should be getting a bunch of eggplant soon.
These tomatoes look like they've had a good time to grow.
They have. These are bush tomatoes, so we don't prune them. You just kind of let them do their things. They have a bit shorter of a season than a vine tomato. So yeah, they're getting really full, and we're starting to get some little babies under there.
I see them. They're almost like a pear-shaped tomato.
Yeah, these are all sauce tomatoes.
Now this is something to share right here. This is
collard greens.
Oh wow, they look really healthy too.
And they love the heat.
Okay, you're organic. What did you put in here as far as anything to supplement the nitrogen they need?
Well, what we actually did was in the fall we planted a cover crop in almost all of these beds.
Yeah.
So we either did a crimson clover or we did a winter rye grass and just let them go all winter.
Okay.
So, and then we cut them down in the spring and kind of tilled it in and just let the nitrogen from that grass go back into the soil.
Yeah. Well, over here, I see beautiful red beets.
Yes, this is actually a smorgasbord of a bed. It is my beet bed. It's also, there are some pole beans coming up in here that a volunteer planted, and then we also have okra planted in between the rows of beets.
That's cool. See that?
A couple rogue carrots in the edges, yeah. We usually have 3 crops in each bed per season, depending on what they are. But yeah, we often have something coming in as something else is going out.
I can tell that it won't be long before you have peppers coming in.
Yes, we already have a few coming in. I think we've got some shishitos coming in down here.
These are hot peppers?
These are all hot peppers, so mildly hot to hot. So we've got some shishitos, poblanos, and then jalapenos, and cayenne peppers.
Okay.
The entire season last year, I think we yielded just under 1,500 pounds of produce. So we just aim to increase it every year by a little bit.
And you know, in that poundage, there's no way to measure those heads of lettuce.
Exactly.
And those collards. There's no weight to them, so you could have bushels of those.
It's a lot.
And not much weight. Well, obviously the cucumbers are happy.
Yes, the cucumbers are really happy this year. We have one bed of slicers and another bed of pickling cucumbers. So we've got both varieties going.
You know, I can't help but say, it's so exciting to see all this, even though there's planes overhead, there's a backhoe over there, there's cars going there, and right here is the soul, the heart of all of us is fresh food.
Yeah.
And it just makes me have chill bumps.
It's pretty neat. Having worked in both urban and rural farming and gardening settings, I can tell you that this is definitely unique.
Yes, it is.
But there's like a different kind of peace that you can find in a garden when you're surrounded by this much chaos.
You don't even hear that mess, do you?
Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't.
Okay, now this is mustard greens?
These are mustard greens, and they're actually on their way out. So you can see they're going to seed,
yes.
And it's just getting too hot for them. So we are going to pull those out hopefully this evening and plant some more tomatoes. This is Swiss chard, and there are also a few onions left in there that are bulbing.
They're probably getting peppery.
Yes, they are.
What kind of experience have you gotten from this community table garden?
Oh, wow. Well, I'd say aside from getting to take food to the food bank every week and donate it, which is always a highlight of the week, I think the other most important thing that I've gotten is just the response from the community. People walking by that live over here, bringing their dogs through, their kids through, just stopping to ask questions. Yes. Gardening tips, trading gardening tips with people in the neighborhood.
Well, Sarah, obviously this is a raised berm type bed. So did you till?
We did not till. We actually just did a quickened version of oxaltation and lasagna gardening, kind of a combo. In the fall, we laid down what would be similar to cardboard. They're actually compostable beer filters that are used by the local breweries here. They donate them to a lot of gardens to use just for like weed suppression, basically. So we laid those down and leaf mulch and plastic in the fall, and we just left them over the whole winter and let the grass die. And then we took the plastic up, and then we just started layering on top of the leaf mulch. So we did like a pro mix of garden soil, sand, leaf mulch, and then 4 to 6 inches of cotton burr compost on top of that. Well, in these few rows we have flowers. We've also got our tomatoes over here, and it has definitely been a bit of trial and error getting the nutrients and everything right in this soil because they are new beds.
I can tell that you have a heart that is full of caring because who else would come out and not have supplementary income?
Right.
You're thinking of those people that are not privileged to have what you and I have, and you've put them into your world and not pushed them aside.
Absolutely.
I know that there are many good things that come from here, and most of all, gardening is for the soul, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Whether it's yours or somebody else's.
That's the truth.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank y'all for coming by.
It's wonderful to know someone of your age, young woman, is caring and thinking about others.
Well, I appreciate you calling me young. Thanks.
Comparatively,
I don't feel it in this heat.
For inspiring garden tours, growing tips, and garden projects, visit our website at volunteergardener.org or on YouTube at the Volunteer Gardener channel, and like us on Facebook.